and relate it into something that will mean something to you and hopefully give you something to think about for the week. So your group, well, the youth is called Legacy Youth, and I wanted to just play on that a bit, and I came up with the word living legacies. So I went and looked up legacy, and I saw that it says like it's something that is a part of your history or that remains from an earlier time. It's an imprint that you leave on the future. So like we all have a legacy. So either we ignore it, or we leave it, or we ruin it, or we smash it, or we run with it. So we pick it up and we run with it. So I like this quote. It says, as we walk through life, we make an impression on the people around us. We leave footprints where we walk. The footprints that we make in life are our legacy, the lasting mark that we make on the world around us. Now, if I talk about legacy today, everybody wants to be, as Mr. Sculler's shirt says, hashtag legacy. You all want to be legends.
Everyone wants to be like Mr. Sculler.
Yes, everyone wants to. Mr. Sculler is the comedy to my talk. I'm not a public speaker, so he's the comedy, I'm the serious. Okay. So I thought what I would speak to you guys about today is you don't all know me. And it seems like a long time ago I was a teenager, but it wasn't that long ago, I assure you. So I thought I would speak to you a little bit about how I'm making a difference to do my legacy. So, I didn't know I get emotional at these things. When I was 11, my parents got divorced. So my childhood was a rocky one. We lived in Pakistan. Some of you will know that place in India. So my parents were missionaries. Guys, you gotta know your geography here. Okay, India, tiny little country next to on the right at the top. Okay, Pakistan. That is where I grew up. Okay, so I lived in a totally Muslim-dominated country, and my parents' idea was to go and preach the word in a total different place. Okay, and it started off well. Everybody did fantastic. We had a beautiful, huge mansion, you know, and we had support from churches all over the place. And then my parents fell out, and my parents started fighting. And my dad, over the many years, became very aggressive. You see, and nothing was good enough for him apart from money. That was his main goal in life: money, and also women. And the reason I'm getting emotional, I'll tell you now, my dad unfortunately passed away last year. So this is why it's still a bit rough for me. See, he passed away in October. So sometimes when I talk about him, I get emotional. But he became a person that we didn't recognize. So when I was 11, they got divorced, and we moved back to England. And we had to start school. Now, my sister was in an ACU school. Some of you will have the privilege of being in an ACU school. But unfortunately, we are 4 children in my family. So my mom, as a single mom, couldn't afford to put me in a Christian school. So I went to a government school. And the government schools in England are fantastic. They've got awesome programs. I did every sport under the sun. I wasn't academic, so I didn't excel in maths. Okay, I can see the hands up there, excited about it. Didn't excel in maths. I still went and got my GCSEs, and I still got a C though. So it's something to aim for, okay? Anyone who's not academic, at least aim for a C. We want to see that on your reports, okay? We want to see it, yeah. See it. So I am funny somewhere.
Coming up later.
So we went to school in a government school. So my sister got the privilege of going to an AC school. I won't tell you too much about that because she ended up getting herself expelled from the AC school. But there we go, okay? So we went to perfect family. I had a single mum, and from the age of 14 I started working. So I don't know who's 14, yeah. You're 14. So you must know, at 14 I started working because there was no money coming into the house, and it was my job in the rented houses that we had to bring in food for the week. So at 14 I had that responsibility already. And to this day, my younger brother and sister still call me mum number 2, because my mum used to work from 9 till 5 or whatever, the normal job, and I would be the one that'd be at home doing the cooking, doing the cleaning, providing the cinema tickets, sending them out to youth, paying for their youth camps. That would all be on me for the job that I was doing. And I want to say to you, I want to encourage you. I know, like, it seems like it's a sad story, and it was a big time in my life where I struggled. But I want to encourage you, that the Lord spoke to me when I was 13. I went on a youth camp, funny enough, and I went because there were lots of boys on the youth camp, so that's why I went.
I wish you met you, sir.
I know
What's
that
going on here?
Mr. Scott, I know Mr. Scott only went to youth because of the girls back in the day, so we're on the same pathway here. Okay.
No worries.
But that's why I originally
You
went.
also went for your buddies, hey, sir.
And I thought, you know what? My mom's a single parent. I don't have these fancy clothes. I don't have the means to go anywhere. I don't have any dreams or ambitions for my life. And the Lord spoke to me when I was 13. And He said to me, you know what? I've got a plan and a purpose for your life. And even though my dad's legacy isn't what I wanted, I had a choice to make it my own legacy and my own difference. So that camp changed everything for me. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to follow God. And I promise you, sometimes you look at people like us and you think, yeah, but it's easy, your lives are perfect. I was not perfect. I made a lot of mistakes. And one of the things I read here, it says that you're never too young to start living your legacy. You're never too young to start leaving your legacy. But what you do now does matter. And I promise you, there are things in my life that I wish that I hadn't done, and choices that I wish that I hadn't made. And I want to encourage you as young people, think about your choices, make the right choices, and choose it now, because I promise you regret it when you get older and when it's later, So that was something that I struggled with my life. And then when I got to 18, I decided I wanted to change, and I decided I'm going to go from my wonderful country of England, the best country in the whole world.
No.
Okay.
South Africa's
And
the
I
best.
decided I would come for a gap year. So the principal at the school that I was working at, I started working at 16. Because now I was working already from 14. I finished school. We finished a little bit earlier than you guys. And so I started working for him. And he said, okay, I'm going to send you to South Africa. And I was like, okay, well, that sounds cool. A lot of people in my church said to me, are you taking armed weapons with you? What are you doing?
No, just find a nice local, you got your weapon there.
And they also said to me now that, you're going to South Africa and you're going to meet all these people and they're going to speak in tongues and they're going to do these funny things and they're going to have their own worship, and you just, stay reserved. You must know, I come from a church where you don't lift your hand. If you lift your hand, you're too charismatic, so you're out of it.
What?
Okay. So this is my background. This is where I come from. So I came to South Africa and I thought, okay, I'm going to do this gap year, and then the Lord will show me what I want to do. I'm going to go back to university and I'm going to study. And about 4.5 years later, I was still in the same place in Venda. Some of you will know it. I know.
I know of it.
Yes, in Toronto in Shandima. That is my ex-school. Okay, so I loved it there. I went on missions. Mr. Sabara is also from there, so we got respect from the same place there. Okay, so I was there and I was having such a good time and really enjoying my time with the Lord. And I just said to the Lord, okay, I'm really content with being single. I'm fine with it. I'm chilled, I've got to a space in my life where I'm happy with it. Everyone wanted to get married, the girls, they all dream. Want to get married, want to have kids, want to get going. Maybe you guys are a bit young for that still, to think that far ahead. But, and what happened? 2 weeks later, Mr. Scarlett walked into my life. Okay, so I was happy, I was content, single.
2 weeks after you got to South Africa.
And 2 weeks after I went on this mission trip, and he came. He decided to come. Him and you'll know Pastor Jackson Newton decided to come for a mission trip. And I was like, oh my word. Because now, mission trips, you pack ugly clothes. You don't pack makeup. You pack work stuff. We were going to go dig playgrounds and, teach people about preschool. This was my job. And now here came, this guy, all, jazzed up in his Joburg stuff, all his Echo United and Adidas trackies and all that. Now I must go on a mission trip and I don't have any makeup or nothing, and I was impressive. Fortunately, I was the only girl on the mission trip. So, so the Lord had favor, yeah. I did climb a few mountains and wade into some water, which he wouldn't, because he said he would get bitten by mosquitoes and die of malaria.
Yeah.
That's true, sir.
That's not true. That's not true.
So I did well, and I also just so I can get some credit here, I did have my hair in full-on dreadlocks down to my hip.
Yeah.
because that's the only way to do mission trips, because this hair doesn't last on mission trips, I can tell you that. You don't shower for like 3 days. You got to have nice hair, you know. So I had beautiful hair, although he hasn't let me do it since, but I would love to do it again. Okay. I didn't take it like 14 hours, you know, the vendors, they do it properly. 14 hours to braid my hair. But there we go. But that's not the point. Getting off topic. If you know me, some of you know me well, some of you don't. I can talk, so I have to never to get back on point. But what I'm trying to tell you is that, you know, recently, you all know, we've had a son, and this year we'll be married 9 years already. It feels like yesterday that we got married. I can even tell you the testimony of that is that we went to England. The next day after we got married, our whole wedding, everything was paid off. We didn't pay a cent. Nothing. And on top of that, one of the ladies in my church gave me like £600 to go on honeymoon in London, which is like, you know, amazing. So I've got like so many testimonies. But now with Peter, what I've realized is that legacy is the important thing. You know what? And with him, some of you will know that he almost didn't survive his birth. We almost didn't have a son. He almost didn't make it through. He went through a trying time. He was rushed straight to ICU like the second he was born. And he was blue, and he was in hospital, and they said he's going to have epilepsy. They said he's going to have problems. He's going to be in hospital forever. And you know what? The Lord really did a miracle there. And it was like a week later we took him home. The nurses couldn't believe. There were children in the ICU that had been there for 3 months, and he got better in a week. So, you know, the Lord really did something. But I want to speak to you about like the legacy part of it, because now he's already making his legacy. He's already got his story to tell. So I want to challenge you tonight and say, like, what is your story? Like, I come from a rough background. I mean, single parent family, nothing to, you know, live for, no purpose really. Like just working from, 14. Like, that wasn't a childhood. That's what I come from. I came out to South Africa. I started with missions. I got really involved with everything. I love the people here. Okay, I say England's my favorite country, but I know South Africa's got like this great potential. Okay, it's got the best people in. I have to say that.
It's the best. It's the
It's
best.
got the potential, you know, to do. And I want to encourage you, you know, like that's my legacy. But now, what are you guys doing with your legacy? And it says here, when you think about legacy, it's about who you influence. Because at the end of the day, people are going to remember you for what you did and what you said in their lives. And I know, like maybe it's cliche, but how often do we talk about God? How often do we talk about Jesus? How often do we tell people stuff? Like, we are so blessed in South Africa. You can walk into a shop and you can strike up a conversation with anyone about Jesus. England, you can't do that. England, they'll be like, oh, what you talking about? It's kind of like, can you please go out, you know? South Africa, we've got that freedom. Like, God is so present here. And I want to encourage you, you know, like, use that. It's your legacy. Start your legacy now, like today. Like, you guys are in Legacy Youth. You've got huge legacies to do. And I know, because some of you I've taught, you know me from, like, some of you I think were still in my class many years ago. Ophelia is smiling because he knows. He's still exactly the same, just a bit taller. But yeah. So all of you've been in my class, and I've seen you grow. You've got potential, guys. You've got potential to go out and be legacy takers, as I like to put it. Go and take that legacy up and like do something with it. So I'm hoping that me sharing a little bit of my testimony, as I said in the beginning, my father did pass away last year, October. So it's been something big for us. But the one thing that he did do is he restored all his relationships before the Lord took him. So the fact that he managed to meet Peter, I never thought my dad would meet Peter. We hadn't spoken since, years and years. He managed to meet my husband. It was like something that the Lord put together. So I think it's really important. I know like sometimes it sounds old coming from an adult, but life is short. It's very short. You got to take it while you got it. And I'm telling you, your school years are the best years of your life. Enjoy it. Enjoy no responsibilities. I know what it's like to have responsibilities. I knew what it was like to have to work every day and go to school. So enjoy it while you've got it, you know. Enjoy those moments. Enjoy your friends. Build your relationships. But ultimately, build your legacy and build your legacy with God. So that's all I want to speak to you about. I'm not long. I'm not really a speaker. But, you know, go out and do it and take up your legacy and run with it. Okay, guys.